Drew, we just were talking to Philip here a little bit ago, and he was talking a lot about urgency, and I just wondered what that meant to you as a quarterback.
Well, as far as, our story goes, I guess urgency goes with the first half. But it starts with, today's practice that we're about to have. It just needs to be a sense of urgency, sense of pressure, sense of, let's go get this thing done early. Let's whatever we're doing last week and the week before, let's keep building our prep, but let's find something more to add on to it. Whether that's this and that in practice or this and that with your personal studies at home. There's just certain things that, we might be able to get done and keep pushing to, make this go forward a little bit.
Next one, Ryan Howard.
Hey, Drew, along those same lines, you said after Sunday's game, brainstorming was in order. Now that you've talked to Mike and Pat, what kind of conclusions about maybe scheme-wise that need to be added or maybe deleted?
Yeah, we'll keep the scheme talk minimal, but, there's a lot that when we went back and watched, it's same old song and dance. There's a couple plays there that could have kept us on the field. We found ourselves in long third downs. They're dropping 8 on those long third downs, forcing us to check it down, getting us off the field. They just came at us early, and we didn't make those little plays that they were making. There's some stuff that we've talked about, but we'll keep that in the quarterback room.
Next one to Kozmutter.
Drew, it certainly seems like you and Jerry specifically are getting really close on some of these deep balls. Is there a way to know, other than obviously completing them, that is kind of right there, and that it's just a matter of kind of getting over the hump on some of those?
I think you almost answered your question right there. I mean, it is right there. We just got to get over the hump. Goes with us in practice. It's just, the little things. We got to keep getting these reps in practice doing that, and I think we'll end up hitting it. I'm excited about the way Jerry played last week. He keeps getting better every single week, and I know he's going to bring it this week again.
Next one, Mike Kliss.
Drew, after watching film, self-critiquing yourself, what are you seeing? Why the Drew Lock in the first half versus the Drew Lock there in the last quarter and a half? What are you seeing as different?
Maybe just let things flow a little bit in the first half. Trust it, go through my reads, just, calm it down in the first half. We know that those first couple drives, they're going to throw some different things at us. Might not be exactly what we practiced against, but, if you stay calm and in your reads, and, the guys around you will help you make plays too. We can have a cleaner first half. That's bottom line of what it is. We practice, we bust butt during the week. We come out there on Sunday, and, the little plays weren't happening for us. It was back-to-back weeks of that looking like that. So we're trying to make a statement this week and come out and, not let that happen.
Next one, Bernie Still.
Drew, I got 241. Did you do anything special for your birthday, or did the coronavirus mute all of those plans? And then secondly, how much freedom do you have at the line of scrimmage, especially early when you guys are on your script, to change plays and check out things and check into things, not just early but throughout the game?
For my birthday, no, I just went to dinner with Natalie. Had a good old dinner at Matsuhisa. It was very good. Hats off to them. As far as, at the beginning of the game, we have a script that, we've talked about, and we script, first plays, but there's certain situations that you get put in that bring you out of those scripts. So as far as, you play by the book on the scripts, and there could be plays in there where you do get to check, where you do have, certain run checks or run to pass checks or pass to run checks. It just depends on the week, really. Nothing too specific on, I couldn't give you an example of this play. I could have went up there and checked it into this, and we could have gained 80 yards and a touchdown. There's certain plays that you can check here and there, and there's certain plays you can get out of, and it just depends on the week if we have those, in the first 15 to 20 plays.
Next one, Troy.
much has been made comparing last year's offense to this year's offense for you specifically, Drew. Is it different pre-snap, post-snap in this offense? Is that still part of as you're trying to kind of microwave your development with no OTAs, no preseason? Is it different, or is it just a matter of, you guys are young and you just need reps?
I think, like I said after the game, I'll stop the young excuse. At any rep for any quarterback and any offense will help them, mature and grow and end up being a stronger offense because of these reps and because of experience together. Whether it's your fifth year or your first year, it doesn't necessarily matter. If you get more experience with a certain team and certain guys, certain skill positions, certain offensive linemen, you guys are going to grow and be a good offense together. As far as offenses compared to last year and this year, there's a blend. Still trying to figure, to answer that question down the line, if it's exactly one or the other. I'd say it's just a decent blend. Shermer had his offense that he's always ran, and he saw some of the things we did really well. Like any offensive coordinator, any great offensive coordinator, they'll see the things you do well the year before, take some of it over, steal a little bit, modify a little bit, and kind of make it his own. And I think he's done a great job of doing that.
Go ahead, Arnie Stapleton.
Hey, Drew, I got a couple for you. One is we only got kind of a little taste of Albert O, his rookie year. What kind of career do you think he has projected, number one? And number two, road teams actually have a better record than the home teams so far this year through 9 weeks. And I'm wondering from a quarterback's perspective, what's that experience been like to play without fans or very little fans and maybe not have to do the silent counts and that sort of thing?
Yeah, it makes me sad about Albert. Just actually sad. It's like a human sad. Believe it or not, we are still humans, even though we play in the NFL. He worked really, really hard this offseason, grinded on the playbook, got his chance, played well, and was going to be a big weapon for us in these last games. And extremely unfortunate what happened to him, especially just being a good friend of mine. Stinks. Never want it to happen to anyone. And, I just know he's a little upset, regardless of, what he'll say. You're definitely upset and sad about what happened. But, it's a team's job, trainer's job, even in a little bit of his job to keep the spirits high and keep them moving forward. But as far as the road and home games, it has been different. There's no fans. So, Foxborough, the Jets standing on the sideline, you feel it is a weird vibe, to say the least. You do get to go normal cadence. You don't have to go silent. You don't have to worry about your ears ringing after a third down, that kind of deal. It really is just any given Sunday when you go in there and play with no fans.
Next one, Eric Delala.
Drew, a couple for you. First, end of game situations there. Just how do you think you guys handled those from a time management perspective the last couple weeks? And then secondly, what do you see from the Raiders, both up front and then in that back end?
I feel like, as an offense, having our first couple experiences of that and trying to take what we did in the practice field to the game field, I feel like we did a good job. The last play wasn't a great representation of who we are as an offense last week. But I was proud of the guys, making plays and trying to extend the drive in that Chargers game, and even us trying to come back in that fourth quarter of the last game. Just clean. Guys were making plays. It's exciting to watch and exciting to be a part of. Just needed to do it earlier. As far as the Raiders go, I know when we played them last year, they had suffered some injuries to some key players. This defense is really good. You go watch, speak of the Chiefs game. Did an awesome job in the Chiefs game. I watched the Chargers game. You watch all their games, and guys are just flying around, knocking heads. Abram, I played with him in the Senior Bowl. He's a funny guy. He likes to come down and hit people pretty hard. So that's one guy I need to watch out for. I mean, and their D-line, Crosby last year played his butt off against us. They're just a good defense, man. They got a lot of guys that love to hit and love to fly around, and it's one of those games where there'll be a little talking going on, and those are typically my favorite. But they're a good defense.
Next one, Willie Ramirez with AP Las Vegas.
Drew, you just actually touched on it a little bit as far as the Raiders defense. They've gotten a knock in terms of when you look at the stat sheet and their scoring defense. The numbers may not dictate how good their defense, but coming up with the big play, the timely defensive play. You mentioned the Chiefs game. They went into Kansas City, the second half stand, going on the road back-to-back weeks, coming up with a big play at the end against the Chargers. Does that make things difficult when you're trying to read the defense, especially stepping up to the line of scrimmage? I mean, I know you said they fly around, they like to hit, but as far as reading what they're doing, what do they do to make things difficult for you as you approach the line of scrimmage?
I think any defense you'll play against, they try to mix what the coverage looks like. There's typical things that you look for in a defense, and if I was a D corner, I'd try to do the opposite and flip to what I actually wanted it to be. I'd try to make you think one thing, and we're actually doing the exact opposite. And pretty much every NFL defense you play is trying to do that. The Raiders do a good job of it, but it won't be anything new for what we've been seeing and what I've seen in the last, I think, 8-9 games I've played. They're just good at disguising things, and it does make it more difficult when you can disguise things, and because your players are so fast and smart, they can get to where they really need to be in a timely manner to help that disguise.
Next one, George, and a few more after that. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, Drew. Jerry said after the game on Sunday that you and him have started kind of setting the standard in practice for the offense. And I know you said that you're kind of tired of the young guys' excuses, but what's maybe that say about the future and potential of this offense that it is being led by a rookie wide receiver and a second-year quarterback like yourself?
Yeah, it says a lot. Can't forget about KJ. Can't forget about Court and Noah and Albert and all the young guys we have on this, Dalton at guard, Cushenberry at center. We are a really young team, but that, again, we're not going to run with that as an excuse, but the future is bright. It's one of those situations you find yourself in that you hope you can all, stay on the same team for a long time. And fortunately, it's a business. Things happen, but it is a very positive future in my eyes for this organization. And the positive future starts this week on Sunday. That's the mentality we have to have. It can't be, the future. It's got to be this Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Next one, Eric Goodman.
Drew, Phillip talked about playing with more of an up-tempo style of offense. I'm guessing you would like to do that as well. Why do you think we are not seeing that more early on in the game?
I'm glad you said you guessed instead of putting words in my mouth. I did that all of college. I saw when it works really, really good, and I saw when it works really, really bad. And there's certain things in the NFL when you go against an offense like Matt Ryan, who is the leading passer in this league right now. It's an extremely good offense. They can stay on the field. It's led by a guy that's very smart with Gurley and Julio Jones. And sure, if you go up tempo and push the ball and get things rolling, it's going to be awesome. People will be like, "Oh, this is breaking science in the game of football." But when you go 3 and out in 30 seconds because you're trying to go up tempo, puts your defense in a really bad spot. That's where I'm saying I've seen it work both ways. I've seen us score 60 points in a game, and the defense is going out there every minute and a half because you score so fast. But I've also seen it where you do go 3 and out and you went up tempo and kind of shot yourself in the foot. That's just the game you have to juggle with possibly going up tempo. If you feel like you have great set plays, you feel like you can go up tempo on, then sure. But I think you see us going up tempo is because we're coming down. We're coming back from being down, and if we go 3 and out, we're already losing by X amount of points. We have to go fast. You're not going to win the game by just slowly moving the ball down the field, and that's why you see us going fast in that second half.
Final one, Kyle.
Sure, you talked about Jerry's progression. How have you seen KJ's confidence grow these last couple weeks? And is his confidence or his progression and impact kind of tied with Jerry's? Do you see those guys kind of on a similar plane?
Yeah, they're two peas in a pod for sure. KJ, as far as his confidence goes, I think, it starts in practice again. You you think about that guy, he got hurt, didn't get to do a lot of training camp, got hurt at the beginning of the year, comes into that Pittsburgh game ready to go, gets kind of banged up again. And, he finally gets to start practicing, gets some mojo behind him. As a young guy, you like to have a little practice. You like to have a little confidence going into the game. You like to catch a few balls and get things rolling, especially as a receiver. And I think that's just what we're seeing from him right now. He's always been, the competitor that he is. And I think we're just going to see him open up more and more as the weeks go on.